Bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about
comic books, costumes,
Facts, boots.
and other stuff.
In this week's issue, Man of War.
Welcome into Bros, Foes, and Heroes. I am Zach, joined as always by the magnificent, marvelous man wonder,
Whoa.
Mr. Mike.
That's a lot of M's.
Yeah, I'm not going to be
What do
able
you call
to
that?
do that.
Alliteration?
Yes,
Okay.
I believe so, right? When
All
it's,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's
It's
alliteration.
not an onomatopoeia.
No, that's when the word is spelt like it sounds.
Oh.
I do remember that one at least. It's
Okay.
like zap,
All right.
you know,
Oh.
or like a buzz. It's an
Oh,
onomatopoeia.
yeah. I remember the after school. What is it called? The Schoolhouse Rock.
Schoolhouse Rock?
About that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't remember
there was
conjunction.
one.
I remember conjunction junction.
What's your function?
Yep. I remember I'm just a bill.
Mhm.
And then I still remember the preamble to the Declaration of Independence
Because of that.
Schoolhouse Rock.
Yeah. No, they honestly they were a good thing.
Well, also, I had a teacher, 8th grade history, who was a coach,
Mhm.
who
Played those his lessons. Yeah.
on Fridays. So what
Absolutely.
his class was, he would give us notes about, and we would have to write it down verbatim
Yeah, sure.
as he did it.
Because it takes longer.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so that's all we did in class, is just write his notes.
Sure.
And then on some Fridays, we'd have a free day or a fun day. And we'd be excited because he's like, hey, we're going to watch Schoolhouse Rock,
Yeah.
but you're going to have to transcribe it.
Sure. Right.
So that's
Yeah.
just what it made me
You know
think
what he
of.
did with those transcriptions?
Threw 'em away.
Threw them right in the trash.
I know. It was just busy coach work.
I used to teach, and they were all non-testable subjects.
Mhm.
And so when I got really ticked at the kids, I would make them watch the Evel Knievel jump of the Snake River Canyon.
Why?
I don't know, just for the hell of it.
Did they hate it?
Oh, they hated it, especially after you watch it for like the third time. They're like, "We've seen this."
Oh, man. That's funny.
I'd do that, and I'd play whale sounds
Oh,
when they were studying.
I remember
A lot of that.
the random movies we watched
Oh,
at
yeah.
times. Some of them because they were related to,
Sure.
or some of them were like
Very
vaguely.
loosely related.
Yeah, like I remember we watched Braveheart in an English
Yeah,
class. I
yeah.
don't remember what that was related to.
Mm.
Maybe it was it was English. And then I remember like in an economics class.
You were like,
class.
history. That wouldn't make any
Yeah,
sense.
it should have, but I
Yeah.
think it was an English class.
Sure.
But then in
Though they speak in English.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
yeah, they could.
there's your tie.
I don't know. I think it had to do with one of the books in the period. I don't remember.
Sure.
But in economics, we watched, I can't think of the name of the movie, but it's the one where Michael Keaton works at the car dealership, like the car
Yeah, it's called
factory.
used cars.
Is that
Oh,
what-
no. You're talking about Gung Ho.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's what we watched in
Where the
economics.
Japanese come in and buy the factory. Yeah.
He was like, hey, this is economics. We watched that.
That is so loose.
I know, but I
Wow.
remember that.
Well, I will say the other day there was a kid here learning a lesson from somebody who teaches a thing here because we do some classes and stuff here, and it was a thing on marketing and entrepreneurship, and the teacher was just give out that day, and so I came in and I tried to help, and we watched. My Baloney has a first name.
It's
so
OSC.
we watched that and the Oscar Mayer Wiener song, and I tied that into marketing and how that was viral before viral, because it really was.
That's true. Yeah.
Right. And then I asked the kid what he wanted to do, and he said that he wanted to open up like an online car parts dealership thing. And so I showed him the video. I don't know if you've ever seen it with the whistle tips, the ones that go woo woo. Those?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'll have to show that to you
Okay.
sometime. Yeah. Bub and Little Sis tell us about the pros and cons of whistle tips. Whistle tip is something that you can weld into your exhaust, and it makes the car go the whole time.
Why?
I don't know. It was just a thing at one time. And this guy tells you how it's only in the moment.
Only
It's
in the
only
moment.
in the moment. You ought to be up making breakfast, is what he says. So yeah.
That's funny.
And then for some reason I showed him the one where to gold at,
Oh, yeah.
With the
leprechaun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite part is the drawing.
Yes.
The
sketch.
render. Yeah, the sketch. Eyewitness sketch. It's like a 3-year-old drew it.
Oh, man. All right.
Where'd it go
So
with that?
today, Mike,
Yes.
I have a very different kind of character in a way. Very silly in a sense, and
Okay.
a lot of it doesn't make any sense. So
All right.
let me get ready to introduce you to Man of War.
Man of War.
Man of War.
Not
Not a man of war.
Okay.
But a man of war.
Are the ones that sting you called Man O Wars?
Yeah, I think they're Man of Wars.
Huh. Okay. I learned something today.
His first appearance that we will cover, of course, we are covering all of his appearances that I could find, which is 4 of them.
Sure.
In Liberty Scout Comics #2 in June of
Liberty Scout
1941.
Comics.
This, the publisher of these.
This is before the war.
This
The
is
lead up
right.
to
This
the
is
war.
41. Like June of 41. We're about to join. No. We join in June of 41.
Oh, really?
I think,
Yeah.
right? D-Day's in June.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't think about
I
that.
could be
yeah,
off.
You're right.
If I'm off, I apologize to our historians out there.
Most of the veterans are dead at this point, so they won't call or write.
We don't have a number for them to call anyway, though.
That's true.
So I think
Call
we're safe.
our podcast number.
It was
It's
published
7.
by, that's it, just 7. It was published by Centaur and created by Paul. Centaur Publishing.
Wow, okay.
And created by Paul Gustafson, just to give credit where it is.
Great.
Obviously, I feel like this was a joint effort, not just Paul. And like I will say, like, some of the art of the stories is fine. It's just the story behind it that is absolutely bonkers.
Okay.
So I will start us off with, as you can see, giant Man of War.
He doesn't have any pants.
That's right. He doesn't. He has like a wrestling singlet bottom
Yeah.
and then a long sleeve top leotard. So
I
it's
will
like,
give it to him. He's packing.
yeah, a sword that
Yeah,
he
right.
holds in
That's
his
what I
hand.
meant.
Yeah. I don't know why one boot is blue and the other one's black.
I think that's just a shadow.
I think you're-
it's in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he has a flaming sword that he has.
He can run over the world.
Yeah. So
Wow.
let me tell you about how
That's cool.
Man of War comes to be.
Do we have 50 stars on the flag at this point?
He's covering it up. I don't think, no, not in 41. We don't.
Really?
Yeah.
When was that? When did we put Puerto Rico on the flag?
No. Like Alaska's still not part of it.
That was
Oh,
a joke.
I think the 50s.
Really?
I think
okay.
so.
All right.
But how we get
This guy
Man
has
of War
some-
first.
This guy has some athletic knees.
He does. I'm actually looking this up now. I got to figure out when it became a
That
state.
sword is something else. Look at that.
Yeah, no, 1959
Oh, okay. Oh, 59. Wow.
is Hawaii.
Well, I would have been way off.
Alaska was in 19. It does not say.
1984.
Sure. But to our story of Man of War.
Yes.
I'm still gonna. Yeah, 1959. Okay, both of them were. Alaska was accepted before Hawaii was, but both were 59. So we are introduced to a war scene in a sense, and we can tell this is a German war scene, even though it's never said that it's Germans. They have swastikas on their armbands.
Well, that's a big giveaway.
Pretty big
Yeah.
giveaway.
Yeah.
But they're just called aggressors, like the
Okay.
aggressors.
Okay. Sure.
What we see here is that the German soldiers are being urged on by Mars. That's right, the god of war, Mars.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And he wants them to go faster and be stronger, destroy more, and just kill as much as they can.
Sure.
And they're not doing it fast enough for him.
Yeah.
So he decides, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the strength of Hercules, the speed of Mercury, the wisdom of Zeus, and the power of all the other gods combined. And in them, I'm going to combine them into my image, who shall appear and disappear on earth in an explosion.
Wait, who is this doing this?
The god Mercury.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
okay.
the god, not Mercury, the god Mars.
Yeah. Okay.
So Mars has created this super being, right?
Sure.
I didn't take this seriously, but you'll see why. Who shall appear and disappear on earth in an explosion. Just remember that.
Okay.
Okay. So thunder and lightning, like, flashes around, the heavens open.
Yeah.
But, Mars, the all-knowing smart god he is, didn't take into account apparently the tilt of the Earth and its axis, so he accidentally sends his creature into I have to say what they call it here. It was just funny. Oh, Mars is all set to place his image on Earth, but little does he realize that the Earth has turned on its axis, and he is now directly above the United States.
Oh. Well, I don't know if you realize this, but most history happened in the United States.
It does.
The Bible tells me that.
That's true, too. And dinosaurs. So,
and dinosaurs.
A munitions plant explodes on Earth in Dayton.
Okay.
And
Dayton, Ohio.
And with that explosion, Man of War shows up, kind of. And it says, and a sudden brilliant flare appears amid the debris.
Okay.
And from it appears the supposed image of Mars. But what's this? It's Man of War.
What?
And he's already, the thing is Man of War already says, you forgot one thing, my fine feathered Mars.
What?
You created me in a peace-loving nation, not an aggressive one. Okay. Let's hold off on that. And I'll fight your puppets with all the might and power you have given me.
He's a puppet fighter.
So the whole story of this.
I don't like his headdress.
No.
All right, I'm sorry.
It's supposed to look like that.
Oh, it looks like Mars.
Yeah, he's supposed to look like Mars.
Roman emperor kind of looking thing. Not an emperor, a soldier.
And so I wanted to cover all that just to kind of set up his origin in a sense of just, Mercury. I did it again. Mars wants to help the Germans. And instead,
he looks a little like Freddie Mercury.
A little bit. Maybe that's what it is. Just sans the mustache.
Sure.
But instead, he was off, and so now Man of War is a force for the United States, this peaceful nation.
I just don't understand no pants.
I don't either.
I don't get it.
It's never. It's never explained.
To be honest with you, his suit is not that bad looking.
No, it's not. It's very blue and kind of.
Well, it's very like all American kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's got the gold for the eagle and stuff, but still, if he was wearing full on red pants, it wouldn't look bad.
It's the fact that he's showing off his legs for some reason.
It is. It's weird.
It just kind of makes the costume look weird.
Didn't put the pants on.
Yeah, I don't necessarily get it. But another thing I didn't get is so he decides that he is going to figure out, hey, what caused this explosion at the munitions factory then?
Yeah.
And he finds a pencil that didn't go off.
Sure.
It says, a famous pencil that didn't go off.
A pencil that didn't go off?
Yeah. So what happens is we find out that
I've never had a pencil explode on me.
So he basically takes the pencil and he's like, looks like I've run into a job the first day, finding out where this came. Like he's going to figure out where this pencil came from because that's his clue. Well, we find out that these pencils
couldn't be a stick of dynamite.
These pencils are nitro pencils.
Oh, that changes the whole game. Sure, nitro pencils. So essentially,
the Germans are sending over these nitro pencils. I'm telling you, all these stories are kind of like this.
Oh, that's crazy.
They notice that he has the nitro pencil, and they drive by in their car and steal it from him.
What the hell is going on here?
Yeah, and so then Man of War is like, I'll just chase after him because I have the speed of whoever's fast. I don't remember
speed of the FTD guy.
The wings on it. Paul Schaefer from Hercules.
Paul Schaefer.
Is it Apollo? I don't remember which one's fast. The speed of
Zippy the
Mercury. I keep wanting to say, okay,
sure.
Fine, Mercury. But so he chases after the bad guys and he jumps on top of the car and just rides. He says, it might be wise for me to listen before I strike them. And so he just sits on top of the car and listens.
Okay.
As they're driving.
I'm having a tough time with this sword. This sword just kind of hangs and flaps around.
Yeah, it's just at his side.
But it's not really. It's okay.
So he finds out. I don't have an explanation.
I know you don't. I'm just saying it's just weird.
But so he hears that they're headed to their big boss. Yeah, I don't.
Swords everywhere.
Yeah, the sword's everywhere. The sword's very important because he basically follows them to their hideout. Yeah. And when he goes to where they go to meet with their big boss about these nitro pencils, he cuts a hole in the ceiling. Right?
Okay. With his sword?
With his sword.
Okay.
His sword can cut through anything.
Well, at least that's a thing.
I should have said, if you thought that Superman was overpowered, Just wait till you listen to Man of War.
Okay.
So, like, there's nothing.
He seems to be very good at acrobatics.
He is. A mighty swing. He jumps on top of the roof and cuts a hole in the ceiling.
And I'm sorry to keep interrupting
No,
you,
you're fine.
but he's just been created.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
And he knows English.
All right. Yeah.
He knows every
acrobatics.
Like he's saying slang. I'm not going through everything. He's like actually saying slang terms for the time.
Hey, tough guy.
Yeah. So he drops down and basically listens in onto the meeting that's going on between the bad guys and their boss. Well, they go
Their
to
boss,
leave.
Lex Luthor.
Yeah, their boss, Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Well, he goes to stop them, and he's like, "Greetings from Uncle Sam." That's it. He already knows who Uncle Sam is.
That's crazy. And his creator was trying to help the Nazis.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So I love this too. He goes, "I've learned an awful lot about you guys. Things you wouldn't even want your own mothers to know." Ha ha.
What does that even mean?
No, because all he heard them talk about was them like shipping these pencils.
You guys don't wash your hands after you use the bathroom.
Well, the bad guys decide to pull out their guns and shoot at them.
Oh, sure. Well,
Well, little do the men know that the man of war can disappear at will in the slightest explosion, and he does as guns bark out. Remember when I said that he would appear in an explosion?
Yeah.
He appears and disappears in explosions.
Okay, that seems dangerous,
It
but
is.
all right, sure.
It is.
Especially
Guns,
at a munitions.
okay. Guns being shot
Yeah.
count as explosions.
They do. That's true.
Yeah. So
Wow, that has to be a real pain in the ass. I mean, if every time somebody shoots off a gun, you just disappear and reappear. Damn it, stop.
It always works to his advantage, though.
Sure.
So they all shoot at him, and they're like, "Hey, he's not here."
But wait. I'm sorry. There are several tough guys.
Yes. And so there's several
There's
gunshots.
a lot of explosions.
But no, he's gone.
Okay.
So I don't know if he can use it and be like, "No, I'm not coming back for that explosion."
I'm just saying if he went ping, 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 you
And
know,
they'd be like,
ricochet rabbit, you know.
And it's also funny to remember this for I think it's either the very last story that I'll get to.
Okay.
Just think about all, because the gun appearing from guns.
I hate the way he's standing with no pants on.
He is trying to show off his little caboose there.
Oh my gosh.
So all these bad guys are like, "Hey, whatever, he's gone. We're still going to go through with what we were going to do."
Sure.
But
what were they going to do?
Plant more pencils, I think.
We'll put these in the hands of every school child in the country.
It says, okay, where were we? Let's get going. Yeah. That night, the band of saboteurs crashed the front gate of the Streak Aircraft Factory. So this time we're going to blow up an aircraft factory
with pencils.
With nitro pencils. But
from the Nazis.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? Because they bust through the gate to drive into the aircraft factory.
Yeah, sure.
And the guy jumps out and says, "Blowing up this place. So say your prayers." And he shoots at him, and it says, "The explosion of the powder and the bullet instantly brings forth man of war and averts death for the watchman." Okay?
So he just appears, and he's like, bing!
Yeah.
I made the bullet bounce off.
Yep.
Okay. All right, cool.
So that's essentially what he did.
What a loose.
He chases down all four of the bad guys, and
Yeah.
he ends up capturing them. And that is the end of our first story. Oh, no. Sorry. This does get a little bit better. So the main boss, he captures all four of the bad guys, and the main leader is getting away.
Right.
It says, while Man of War puts the finishing touch on the fourth and last of the saboteurs, their leader roars off. So he chases the guy down, rips his car door off, hops inside, and says, "Mind if I join you?"
Wow.
And then he holds up a pencil, and he goes, "It's a funny thing, but most men meet their fate through their own deeds. Take this pencil, for instance." And the guy goes, don't squeeze it so hard. Don't. And Man of War causes the pencil to explode, and it just explodes. Because of the explosion, he disappears. And so the leader and the car and everything explode.
This story brought to you by Ticonderoga Pencils.
Yep. Americans all join with Man of War in his fight against the aggressors.
And bad pencils.
Watch for him in the next issue.
Wow.
So that takes us to our next story.
Remember, kids, check your pencils.
Which was another Liberty Scouts issue.
That is just the weirdest thing. It's pencils.
Yes.
They never say why it's nitro pencils.
Nope. They never tell them.
What the hell?
In the second story.
Hey, I like this dude.
Oh, okay. So
I don't know who that guy is.
So
but
the
he's got a big
Liberty
red cape.
Scouts, they were introduced in the last one. It's Strut, Smokey, and Skip. So Strut, I'm assuming, is the Air Force guy because he like flies in.
And why are their cheeks so red?
I don't know. Skip is the Navy dude, and I think Smokey's the Army guy. Like I feel like they're doing all three of the branches.
Sure.
But so that they were the main story of the Liberty Scouts.
The Air Force guy, he's got wings. Like he's got a. So you know who he reminds me of is
the Flying Nun.
No, no, the sidekick from The Tick.
Oh, the Arthur.
Yeah, he seems like the moth. Yeah.
Did you watch the live action Tick?
I did.
It was really
good. I enjoyed
good.
both of them.
And the cartoon?
No, you remember the first live action one? It was a TV show on
Fox
with Warburton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I forgot about that one
too.
Yeah.
Batmanuel.
I forgot about Batman.
Batmanuel.
Even the cartoon was good though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So our second Man of War story.
The Tick has been treated badly.
He has been.
Really, because it's such a good.
It is.
I feel like if you brought out the Tick now, if you did the live action show now on Amazon, I think it would go gangbusters.
See, I thought it was going to when it came out the first time.
I did too. I think it was just
good.
like a few months off of the whole trend.
Hey,
you
because
know?
that thing, it was just so like I wanted a second season.
Yeah, it was very good. And I didn't think anybody could replace Warburton.
But I can't think of the guy's name.
This guy was really good.
He was really good.
Yeah, Army Hammer was wonderful in it.
I don't think he was in it.
I'm just kidding.
But Jackie Earle Haley is the big bad guy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So we now go to
Jackie Earle Haley. He's the one that was Freddy Krueger also, right? At one time.
No, Freddy is Robert Englund.
Well, I know the original, but in the remake, wasn't he Freddy?
Yes, he is Freddy in the remakes. Okay. Yes.
All right.
Sorry.
I think there's only one.
Is there one remake?
Yeah.
I thought there was.
Wasn't that good?
Oh, you're talking about the most recent remake. Yeah. I thought he had two.
Maybe he did.
No. When they did Freddy vs. Jason.
He did that off-Broadway one where it was
off-Broadway. No, when they did Freddy vs. Jason, I don't know how I know this, but I do. Robert Englund played Freddy in that, but the guy who usually plays Jason did not.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name. But it's the same guy that always plays him.
Kane Hodder.
Yes, it is Kane Hodder.
I have a T-shirt with Jason on it. It just says Kane Hodder at the bottom of it. Yeah,
that's funny.
For some reason. I don't know.
You're going to get one with Leatherface and just have Toby Hooper.
Don't think I won't.
Well, actually, Toby Hooper directed. He's not the actor. I can't remember the actor's name.
It's just got a picture of Alfalfa. It says Toby Hooper. Or something. Yeah.
So.
It's like have you seen the Nirvana shirts?
With the smiley face ones?
No. These people are wearing shirts with like Owen Wilson on it, and it just says Nirvana under it or whatever. It's fantastic. I love that kind of stuff.
That does, yeah.
I have a T-shirt that just has the word pants on it.
And that's all?
That's it.
I do.
That confuses people. Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff. My wife, I think, wouldn't want me to wear it out in public, but I'll just when she's not around.
Sure.
So let's go ahead and get into story 2.
Nitro pencils.
Can we quit talking about that? I'm trying to start.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go. Nitro pencils.
Nitro pencils. This one we're in the Panama. We're in the Panama Canal.
Okay.
And there, obviously, we see the channel zone as it's kind of going through there, and we are introduced to Carl Still, who is like this multimillionaire, right? Okay. And he has
looks good in a hat too.
He does. He has a yacht that he is taking through the channel. And all of a sudden, if you were a
multimillionaire, you'd buy a yacht?
Maybe. I don't know.
It seems like one of those things.
It seems like everybody has one. If they're like
if you're a billionaire, you got to have a yacht.
Yeah. If I own a sports team, I have to own a yacht too.
Yeah, that's true.
Jerry has one.
That's true.
Cuban has one.
You got to have your parties in international waters.
Sure. Dan Snyder probably has multiple ones.
Sure. Dan Snyder.
Dude, he had a quote today, and I know we're going all over the place with this.
It's okay. He had a Nitro pencils.
He had a quote today where it's like, because I think they're still meeting if the commander's workspace is like it.
Dumbest name ever, by the way.
It is.
Good looking black uniforms.
Oh no, I actually like the uniforms. I just don't like the name.
No, the name is
I
terrible.
thought the Generals would have been cool.
Generals makes total sense.
Take it from the USFL. Just be the Washington Generals.
Makes total sense.
But either way, he came out and said that
Wizards.
The NFL
that one's available.
Yeah. No, the basketball team.
Oh, were they the Wizards?
Yeah, the Washington Wizards, because they couldn't be the Bullets anymore.
I like the Bullets name.
I did too.
Cool.
But no, they're the Wizards now. But Dan Snyder said the NFL can't F with me. Like, he's kind of untouchable. And he says he's got dirt on Roger Goodell, Jerry Jones, and all the other owners.
Great.
And I read that and I was like, No, you don't.
I'm so tired of people that have dirt on other people and shit like that.
Why do they do that? Yes.
Good God, just shut your gaping maw.
So back to Mr.
I
Steele
saw
and his
Jordan play with the Wizards.
Yeah, he was.
I went-
Oh, like in person?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
how's that?
At the old Hemisphere Arena in San Antonio.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming against the Spurs. So that's
No, it
probably
was weird. It was against the Lakers, but no, it was the Spurs.
I'm assuming that Robinson, Duncan.
I think this was just Robinson at the time. I think it was before Duncan.
Really? I thought Duncan was there in 99.
No, he was there in 99. Yeah.
Oh, was Jordan with the Wizards
I
before
think
that?
Jordan was in there for a couple of years, right?
Yeah, I think they played.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Either
I don't
way.
know. Anyway, we won.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Speaking of people who
It was
punch.
a terrible, terrible team.
Yeah. Speaking of all the news this week about teammates punching each other with Draymond Green and Jordan Poole, Michael Jordan also somebody who punched a teammate, Steve Kerr. So
Oh, did he punch Steve Kerr?
he's punched Steve Kerr in practice. Yeah.
Oh, that explains the look on Steve Kerr's face.
Yep. He didn't. He's not look like that. No.
Here's the thing with Steve Kerr, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think he's great at what he does.
Mm-hmm.
He was an excellent player.
Oh yeah. No, for sure.
A marksman, you
Mm-hmm.
know, a great 3-point shooter. Luckiest guy alive, though, to step into that team and
Oh
be
yeah.
a coach.
And
Yeah.
with the Warriors.
Well, it's like Barry Switzer.
Oh
He's
yeah.
the same guy.
Oh, and if you read the Jeff Pearlman book
Yeah.
on, I think it's called Boys Will Be Boys.
Right.
Really good.
Cowboys
But
thing.
yeah, but they talk about like the Barry Switzer career there because it covers essentially from when Jerry buys the team
Yeah.
until I want to say until like Chan Gailey. Is that
Chan
coach?
Gailey, wow.
I think it's that span. I don't think
Yeah.
it goes past that, and it
Yeah.
is so interesting.
Yeah.
Just the
It
things
was a
they
dirty
did.
team. It was
Dude.
rough. Yeah.
And it's just they talked about how like Barry didn't care at all.
Oh, why
about
would he?
what the players did
Why would he?
in the first year, but then the second year, he was like trying to toy with stuff more. They're like, hey, hold on. Like it's a very dude. I love Jeff Pearlman. He has a book.
Step in and just win a championship. You
Yep.
didn't have to do a damn thing.
Nope.
You
But
just show up, make sure the lights are on.
I'll plug Jeff Pearlman. This podcast sponsored by
Jeff Pearlman, you talk about him a lot.
I
He
do
is-
love Jeff Pearlman.
Yeah, he's a
he
great
has
writer.
a book coming out about Bo Jackson this month.
Oh, cool.
That's supposed to be pretty thick. So that'll be the next thing I get to. Back
Why
to
does
the,
that matter that it's very thick?
No, I'm just saying like it's no, it's
Oh.
just it's I'm assuming it's a lot. That's why I was saying, it'll
This
have a
sports
lot of
break brought to
information.
you by Nazi Nitro Pencils.
So Mr. Still's yacht, while it's crossing through the channel,
Yep.
all of a sudden sinks.
Oh no!
So his yacht sinks. I did
That's the
find
thing
this
with yachts.
I did find this very interesting. He asked them if they can pull. He's like, "There goes my beautiful ship. Can't you do something, Captain?" And the captain says,
Glub,
"Don't
glub,
worry,
glub,
sir.
glub."
We'll raise the boat within a day."
What?
They're gonna be able to get the boat up within a day out of the
Where are these
canal.
guys at?
They're in the like. What do you mean?
Well, like when the ship is sinking, they're
They're
not
just
on it.
staying. No. They're watching it pass through the canal. I guess
Oh, okay.
when it sinks. I did love Carl, who's our millionaire friend, says,
Carl the millionaire.
"My new ship is worth over $100 grand." So a yacht costs apparently $100 grand back in the 40s.
Wow,
I could buy. I mean,
that's a good deal.
yeah, that's a really good deal. I would need to take out a loan still,
Well,
but
I mean, like our houses are more than that.
Yeah.
now.
so you could have gotten a yacht for more than a house back then,
My
or
house
for
was
cheaper than a house.
$100,000 Yeah,
So it was barely.
it was just barely
Just
over.
barely.
But yeah,
But
and it
hours
has no doors.
hours
The
later,
weirdest thing.
your house
No doors.
you just have like tarps hanging over it.
No, man. I go
Just
down
open?
through the windows.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh, I thought you had like doorways, but no,
No
doors. You
no
had
doorways,
no doors
no
at
nothing.
all.
Yeah, no way to enter.
It's
other
kind of
than
making it hard for
windows.
Santa. You have a
It
chimney
does,
at least?
Yeah. No, we did.
Okay.
We took it out.
Ah,
Not a big Christmas fan.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
we
did
hear just about midnight every Christmas. We hear that's just him trying, and
he's
it's
like,
just not there.
and then you just take off again.
Yeah.
So while they're trying to get the boat up, this has been
stupidest
all
show.
over. This has been all over the place.
All right, go.
While he's getting the boat up, there
What?
another explosion. While the men are, the craft, a big explosion
Brought to
occurs
you
from
by
under the
Viagra.
water while the ship is lodged, and out of the explosion appears, of
Man of
course,
war.
Man of War.
What exploded
That's
that
what
made him appear?
he swims underneath the water and he sees. Hey, this is a piece. It looks like sabotage. This is a piece of a time bomb.
Oh no, it's a pencil.
So he's like, I'm going to go back and tell them like, hey, this is what the deal is.
Oh, okay.
So I did find this also. So we're introduced to Carl Still on this page, spelled Karl. One page over, it's spelled Carl.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
That is just one of the things.
No fact checkers in 41. Yeah, they were all drafted.
But like, Carl's sitting there like, I wonder if they're going to get my yacht out. Man of War.
He's just sitting on the side. Man, I wonder if they're going to get my yacht out.
Yeah. Well, we are then introduced to these three guys who load up a time bomb in the back of their truck, and they take it through the canal base.
They look very much like Dick Tracy bad guys.
They do. And what they do is they basically just kick this bomb out of the back of the truck into the canal, where Man of War just sees it like sink in front of him. He's like, I bet you those are the guys I'm looking for.
That would be weird if it wasn't.
He picks up the bomb.
Yeah.
And he takes it back there to them.
And by the way, this bomb that he's talking about, it is like this huge cannonball looking bomb. It's the classic like marine bomb that you see, like if they were setting a bomb for a submarine to blow it up. Or
what
whatever.
was that Bruce Campbell TV show in the 90s where the Cisco Kid or whatever?
Yeah.
Remember there was
Cisco
a weird
Kid, it was
Briscoe
County Jr.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
But I feel like, is that what I'm thinking? There was something that was like an orb thing that they had on that.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
Don't know. That's a deep cut.
Well, it looks like, if you ever see this, there for a while, there were a bunch of submarine movies. Like these things are always like floating
on
from
the
the
chains
bottom. They're
and
on
stuff.
a chain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly
It's
what
that
they
kind of
look like.
bomb. Yeah.
So Man of War basically just takes the bomb and runs after them.
Hey,
with
you guys
it.
forgot this.
And so he follows them, and basically the bad guys lead him back to their leader.
I like how he's just carrying it in one arm.
He's just carrying it the whole time, this bomb.
You got to protect that football.
Guess who the leader was, though?
Oh, no, is it Carl?
Entering the ground after the fugitive, Man of War finds Carl Still ready to welcome him with lead.
Okay.
You fool, you let someone follow you. Kill him. So instead, though, he throws the bomb into Carl's house. It explodes. And amidst the ruins.
You're just so cavalier about that.
Amidst the ruins, Carl still survives.
Uh-huh.
And so he basically escapes and he runs to a plane that he has.
Yeah, this is the big red plane.
This big red plane. Now
with
remember.
A propeller.
Yeah. Now remember, though, I'm pretty sure that Man of War disappeared in the explosion.
Right.
So Man of War is not around.
Right, sure.
But then off it roars into the sky. But by accident, one of the bombs comes loose from his plane.
What?
It smashes into the ground with a loud explosion. Oh, there's Man of War again.
Oh, no. Boy, if I just hadn't exploded that bomb.
If I wouldn't have had accidentally let that bomb go.
Dang it.
Well, instead, he basically takes him out of the plane and they bring it down and he takes him into authorities.
Is friggin' ridiculous.
It is. Still confesses to the authorities that what he's done, but one of the officials turns to thank the Man of War. But as he turns, he accidentally drops his revolver and it goes off.
Oh, no.
And with that shot, Man of War just disappears to return wherever enemy sabotage goes
so
on.
Stupid.
And they're like, "What? Why he's gone? I wanted to say thank you for saving the canal."
The captain lets a little fart out and he disappears.
Oh, I think that this is probably the perfect stopping spot or a halfway point for us.
This is a way to go.
Yeah, so I think that let's go ahead and take a break here to hear a word from our sponsors.
Hey, do you like exploding pencils? So
If
do
you
Nazis.
do, yeah. All right, so
You
we're
may
back.
be a Nazi.
We're back here to get back into Man of War. And so Man of War was a story in the Liberty Scouts comics.
Yeah.
Then, get ready, Mike. He got his own comic.
Oh, man. Look at him go.
It's still like a lot of these.
His shirt changed, right? Yeah, it's red now.
Yeah, it's red
It was
now,
blue.
and his bottoms are blue. So he changed colors.
Boy, are they.
Hey, you get a new comic book. You got to get new.
Sure.
But it's just like this of where he's one of the stories in the collection of stories in there. So it's not like it's a whole book about him.
Right.
But he was the cover art.
Because this was a big deal back then, where they had all the different little stories and things. We've covered all this.
Yeah. We have.
What do you call them? Anthologies.
Anthologies, in a way. But it's weird because they're not self-contained stories. Some of them continue. But either way.
His sword looks like a lightsaber.
It does.
Yeah.
Oh, his sword that we talked about a little bit, it always glows with fire whenever he unsheaths it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, he needs to see a doctor.
I haven't read this yet, and I
Come
thought
on,
it
that
would
was
be
a good joke. I
that
enjoyed
was,
that.
that
one.
was really
Come on,
good.
That was
really good.
Yeah.
I haven't read this because I wanted to save it to read to you, just because I thought this was kind of weird.
So sweet.
It just says, and this was when, as soon as I opened the page, and it says wanted junior editors for Man of War Comics.
So they literally, when you pick up this comic, there's an ad that you could possibly work for Man of War Comics.
Yeah.
If you're sitting around reading comics,
Hey, you could.
and you're just like, boy, I bet I could put this sucker together.
I haven't read it yet, so I don't know what he's asking for. So
Okay.
let's
All
get
right.
into this just to see.
Okay, please.
As you might well imagine, Uncle Joe, that's right, the guy who I guess produces this book, calls himself Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe,
Beware of anybody who gives themselves their
the name.
own nickname.
and it's an uncle. Like, hey, call me
that's
Uncle.
even worse. Yeah.
Uncle
Joe
Uncle
owns a
Joe
band.
is
Get in the
quite
back.
is quite a busy person these days.
Sure.
What with editing 5 comic magazines, and he put 5
What?
in all bold, so you could be
Boy,
like, yeah,
oh boy.
comic magazines for you boys and girls. Yes, Comic Corporation of America now publishes 5 magazines: Amazing Man Comics, The Arrow, Man of War Comics, formerly called Liberty Scouts, Stars and Stripe Comics, and World Famous Heroes Magazine. All
World-
available at your...
I love how he says boys and girls. I'm producing it for boys and girls. So he is literally advertising to children to be a junior editor for his comic
Yeah,
book.
he's like saying, like, needless to state, like, with it all, I want it all to be the best.
Uh-huh.
He goes, here in my office in New York, I talk to a lot of artists and
Name
continuity writers, listening to their ideas for good stories for our magazines, helping them develop new features that will delight our readers. He's like, I read your letters. I'm trying to, not do the whole thing. He's like, I read your letters.
It is
I
a
hold
very long thing.
It is
takes up
very
the whole
long.
page. Yeah.
I have conferences with my assistant editors and the publisher, and then I go to work and prepare the next issue for you guys.
Ooh la la.
But he's like, however, I still need more help if I'm going to give you the, what you want. That's why I'm inviting you to become a junior editor of Man of War Comics to help me make this magazine bigger and better than ever before. Will you help me? Yes? Well, here's what I'd like you to do. After you finish reading the stories of this November issue, take a few minutes and figure out which stories you like the best and which stories you didn't like. Then write me a short letter telling me which stories you liked best and why you like them. Telling me which stories you want me to leave out of the feature episode.
What the hell?
He's basically asking the kids to tell him, hey, read this, write Uncle Joe back and tell him what stories you liked, what ones you didn't. I'll take out the ones you didn't. I'll write more like the ones you like.
Uncle Joe, I like ponies.
I will tell you,
We got to put more ponies in
I
our
don't
comics.
think Uncle Joe got enough junior editors because there's only 2 issues of Man of War Comics. But I just found it funny that they're basically, he was
He
asking.
just ran himself into the ground,
it is-
publishing 5 comic
5
magazines.
comics, but it is a full page ad of him asking people just to.
It's so weird.
It is, but it's just something you really don't see in comics.
No.
It's kind of in a first sense of what's the word I'm thinking of? He was trying to get feedback from the public.
It's crowdsourcing.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of the first
Crowdsourcing,
part
sure.
of crowdsourcing in a way.
It reminds me of the stuff that was in the wrestler comic. The
A warrior.
yeah, it was like Ultimate
It
Warrior
is,
thing.
but it doesn't explain what
this
was
is
it?
like-
Dextrosity.
Yeah, this is like, wanted junior editors. You better be good at it.
Yeah.
I'll kill you if you're not.
Or else I'll just go ahead and just write awful
You
stuff about
remember
you.
Jeff? He's a turd. That kind of thing.
Do you remember that the last issue had like that 5-page letter
it
of
was
how
like a
much he
5-page
hated?
thing in there. It's like this one guy. I hate his colored pencils.
Man, that was if you haven't listened, go back and
that's
listen
a
to the
good
Warrior
one. That's a good
episode.
one.
So this issue
That was in the old studio.
was that in the old
Yep.
studio? That was in the old studio.
that was in the
Yeah.
old studio, yeah.
So Man of War, his
Not
first
that
story.
that means anything.
Oh, no, it's
whatever.
kinda- I realized though, I knew the old studio
Yeah.
and would go there too. but we never did.
We
one
didn't,
of our
we didn't
episodes
record
there.
anything there yet. No.
No, I did record something there though, but
Did
it was
you?
for
That was for Invisible Icon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is another podcast. If you haven't heard, you should go
And it's
listen to.
a short series. Y'all should listen to that. It's kind of
really
cool.
good.
Yeah.
So, Man of War.
Zach wrote it.
I did, but don't hold that against the podcast.
Wanted junior writers.
Junior writers, tell me what you like about the podcast.
Tell me what you like about podcasts, please.
and then go ahead and email Uncle Zach.
That's right. Uncle Zach.
Oh man, I've only ever said that to my nephews, and so saying it when they're not around sounds weird.
It does sound weird.
Essentially, now we open up Man of War's first big issue. You think
Yeah.
it's going to be a big story.
Cool.
And that's the thing. This first story, his old stories were like 7 pages.
Yeah.
He gets 11 pages
Oh my
in
God.
the first one.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a big step up.
But what we see is, even though it's 11 pages, it's a lot of action and stuff and not necessarily a lot of story. So, Mercury,
Uncle Joe can't read.
not Mercury, damn it, Mars.
Mars.
There we go.
Sure.
Mars is basically like in the ear of what's supposed to be like this evil leader, telling him like, send your troops here, do this. Like Mercury's trying to.
Why is Mercury a robot now?
Mars.
Mars. Why is Mars a robot now?
I think it's supposed to be a ghost.
Oh, okay. He's
Like,
a ghost.
Yeah, he's a ghostly figure. So he's basically like, telling him what he needs to
He's
do.
a ghost, but he's wearing like a tutu.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So.
Ghosts can't wear tutus.
No, they can't. With all of this, though, where was it? Okay. So they basically want to capture Man of War. He's
This
created
is
by the Mighty
episode
Mars.
we send in for the awards. You know that, right? This is the one we send to the award
For
committee
a Razzie?
or whatever.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
So essentially, though, there's a woman outside named Wanda Hall
Okay.
who's an FBI agent.
Sure.
This group is meeting in like a mountain. They are. She's like outside the mountain, like trying to figure out
This
what's
is
going
the thing
on.
I love the most about this show. Again, is you just say these things, and I just go, okay, they're meeting in a mountain.
I mean, they're outside a mountain.
I understand. I'm
It's
just saying.
and-
It's just.
and that's it's
such
funny.
a leap.
I was talking
It's
to
comics.
Allison earlier before we started the show.
Editor here.
Yes.
Junior editor.
She writes us ideas. But she
Stop
was
is all it says.
that's a-
Stop doing that.
But she was talking about us and then also fellow Rogue Media podcast, The Long Box,
Oh yeah.
of how that she likes listening to it, and it's the end of both spectrums. Well, they'll be like, "This is really good. You should check it out," and we're like, "This is really bad. You should go check it out."
I guess that's true. Yeah, I never really thought about that, but yeah, we are kind
But
of
I'm
on
like,
both
yeah,
ends.
we're kind of so we got you covered all the
Yeah.
way. But
You like heroes with no pants? We got you.
yeah, oh, and you want them to appear out of explosions. Also, notice while he had a red shirt on the cover, he's back to the blue shirt in this story.
I mean, it's Tuesday.
Yeah,
Gotta change.
one of the guards that's basically guarding the entrance to this evil lair
Mountain.
tries to shoot evil lair mountain tries to shoot at FBI agent Wanda Hall, and of course, Man of War appears from the gun
Sure.
explosion.
Oh, he shot something
So they find a secret door
in the mountain.
in the mountain to let him in, and he uses his sword. Yeah, okay, so here we go. The mountainside is moving. No, they find it. It opens. Guards come out after them to attack
Okay,
them.
sure.
Man of War fights them off, but when he's done fighting them off, he realizes that Wanda's no longer around.
Uh-oh.
He's like, the girl is gone, but here's her belt. How do you lose a belt when you're struggling with somebody? Not like, here's her hat. She's wearing a hat.
Sure.
Here's her hat.
Here's her
Here's her
shoes.
purse. Here's
Yeah.
her shoe. Here's her belt.
Here's her belt.
So
Uh,
we also see that
maybe in the 40s, like belts were bigger and
they just fell
like,
off?
Really, just like almost like a headdress or something. They were ornamental.
yeah, no, I could say that maybe, and they're just like, yeah, it's not that
It's
big of a
very
deal.
loose. I'm
It
sorry.
is very
Just
well,
like our belt. Yeah,
Ah.
that's right.
We find out because we're taken back to the lair where the guard has essentially taken Wanda to their leader,
Sure.
and Mars is in his ear, basically telling him, "Man of War is dangerous. His are the powers of the ancient gods, Neptune, Mercury, and Hercules. He must be caught unaware."
Wait, he's telling who?
Mars is telling the leader, this evil leader.
So he's working against
He's
his
working
own creation?
against, yes, because he didn't want Man of War to fight for the United States.
Oh, yeah, I guess so, huh?
So he tells him he derives his powers from the planets. Lure him into the lead chamber. There, his rays will filter out.
Oh, wow. So there's a Superman thing going on here, huh?
So Man of War does make his way in, and he
Superman
finds
is lead, right?
Superman's kryptonite.
But what? There's a metal he can't see through. Is it lead?
Oh, maybe. Is it lead?
I think it's lead, right? What else
Now
would
I
it
gotta
be?
look this up. I guess we Google what can't Superman see through.
Sure.
So yeah, no, this is oh, that it popped up. Giving Superman's strength, flight, and his X-ray vision, giving him the ability to see through wood, cloth, metal, and plastic. It also introduces Superman's other weakness, lead.
Okay, that's what I thought. Because the only reason I remember that is
So
the
he
Christopher Reeves movie, the first one. Like he's looking through Lois Lane's clothes, and then he looks around and he can't see through the lead.
Yeah. So okay. I guess I forgot about that then.
She's wearing lead underwear. It's like, ah, damn it.
It's like the chastity underwear in
Sure.
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Sure.
So he basically gives him the idea of like how he's able to get rid of Man of War's power.
Yeah.
So
that seems lazy because I'm assuming at this point, when did Superman come out?
39.
Yeah.
38.
So I'm assuming he just stole that from the Superman.
Yeah, probably.
Comics, yeah.
But
Uncle Joe.
he Man of War busts in to save Wanda, but he gets surrounded by all the men there, and he realizes that he tells them that we're surrounded by lead ore, that he's lost his powers.
Uh-oh.
And so it has taken his powers away, but I still have the sword of Mars. So he's still able to use his sword to essentially cut a way out of the mountain. Is that right?
You understand
he
these
does.
words.
I do.
just
The evil
word salad
genius
at this point.
has the idea now, since his sword can do so much. He wants his sword, but he's also going to lead an attack on America while they have Man of War in the lead area.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
So they're going to attack Los Angeles. Somehow, though, the Los Angeles paper already knows this, and they print enemy to attack Los Angeles. Kind of weird.
Wait, what? So how would they find that out? I don't know. And why would they print it instead of just calling the authorities?
I don't know.
Okay.
But essentially, Man of War, like I said, uses his sword and he cuts a hole out of the mountain.
He's to attack Los Angeles. That's just stupid.
And here's the thing is it fills with water, and he basically just puts his hand over her mouth to, and takes her out of the water.
Sure. Because that's how that works.
They say to grab the boat and head north. I'll take care of things here, is what he tells Wanda for her to get away.
She's dead because he's
so
suffocated her.
He basically is getting ready to fight the guards that are there, but they shoot at him. And when he does, he disappears.
Over and over and over and over.
And then when there's another shot,
he
appears inside the city chaos.
Got it.
So he's able to travel all the way.
Inside the city chaos?
In L.A.
What's the chaos? I don't know.
They were going to attack L.A.
But
enemy to attack. It just
chaos?
says, I don't know. I mean, the enemy fires on Los Angeles. Oh, no, actually, it just says the enemy fires Los Angeles.
Everybody lost their job.
Inside the city chaos. That's what it says in two paddles.
Okay, so it should be inside the city, chaos.
Yes, but there's no. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I got you.
But
I was like, what the hell's a chaos? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't really get that one either. Man of War does what Man of War does. He lifts tanks and throws it.
Sure.
And, he's like basically exploding everything.
He just has like no weaknesses other than lead,
doesn't.
right?
That's what I'm telling you. He doesn't. This is also something that I found funny.
And love.
Well, you say that. Wanda doesn't appear again.
Oh, damn.
So with the last big explosion that kind of blew everything up, Man of War disappears. And it says, Man of War has destroyed my land and sea forces, but now I'll gather my powerful air force. This is the big bad for this issue.
Okay. And
he takes his plane. He's like, now to my air base with 30,000 planes.
30,000 planes.
I'll still conquer the U.S. And from the explosions of Luco's Luco's the bad guy's name,
Sure,
wide open engine. So here's what happened. He basically puts the plane in full throttle, and it has like a puff of smoke come out the back.
An explosion.
And that's how Man of War appears.
Plane farts.
Yep. And he basically destroys all the Air Force.
30,000 planes he destroys.
All 30,000 planes. He crashes Luco's plane right into the water. And when he does, there is where Wanda is, and she scoops him up out of the water and kind of pulls her gun on him, like, hey, you stay here until the cops show. he dives at her, and when she shoots,
There he is. There he comes.
here's what happens though.
Pew.
So the shot, obviously, he doesn't do he disappears into the smoke, but she still shoots him.
Oh, okay.
And he says, "Good shot. You hit him right in the button, right on the button."
What? What's the
And then
button?
he's gone. I don't know, but she hit him right on it.
The button.
Yep. And then it says, "So long, Wanda, but I'll be back whenever there are enemies of the U.S. You'll find me ready to smash them."
Okay.
And that's how that ends. And this takes us
Man of
then
War smash.
to our last Man of War story.
Oh.
Who I didn't have enough time, Mike. There's only one issue of this guy,
Yeah.
and I'll probably just add it in to one thing eventually when I get to it.
Sure. Oh, there's another character. Oh boy, the ferret, killer of gangster rats. And
But
he's wearing like a ferret's face on his head.
But only up to his eyes, so he just has ferret eyes. It's like a Davy Crockett hat that he's
Ooh.
pulled over his eyes, and it's ferret eyes.
Wow. And then also fireman.
Yeah, fireman just turns into fire.
Fireman. Liberty Guards, fireman, and the ferret.
And the ferret.
Well, the ferret, he does look a lot like Davy Crockett.
He does, but with
he's
ferret
nuts.
eyes.
Ferret eyes.
I don't like it. His eyes are in the ferret eyes are in the place where his eyes should be.
Well, they're actually a little higher.
Yeah, they
Like
are.
I don't think he can see.
He can't. He just fights with his.
His
ferret
ferret
eyes.
abilities. What ability would you take from a ferret?
You get angry and like I don't
just-
know.
You skitter a lot.
You hiss at people. I don't know.
I wish people could have seen that. That was great. Zach hissed at me.
There you go.
Which I don't blame him.
Yeah, well, it wasn't. It was just to show what a
You know, you're the second person who's hissed at me today.
today.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's every day.
I'm the second person who hisses at you every day.
Just-
Oh, now I'm confused. So Mars shows up again.
These jokes backfire on me sometimes. I don't know.
Mars shows up again
Yeah.
because
He looks totally different now.
He's not in ghost form. He's
Yeah.
in like giant.
It's huge.
Yeah,
Looks like a dude from Gladiator or
but
something.
he
You know?
wants to help. Essentially, I don't know why I said essentially. He wants to help the Italian forces against
Oh.
the French forces.
Okay. So,
So
he's still a bad guy.
he's still a bad guy.
Yeah.
But he's helping he's helping the Axis powers though now, not
Right.
just. So his plan, the Italians' plan, is to have a fake man of war show up because the Italian leader is expecting the real man of war to come and help them. So they have him show up an hour early, and essentially, the fake man of war, kidnaps the French general and takes him hostage
Yeah.
before the real.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I was preoccupied. There's a fake man of war.
So the fake man of war shows up. The Italians have the fake man of war show up to meet the French general.
Oh, wait. Where did the fake man of war come from?
That's their idea because the real man of war is supposed to visit the French general.
Oh,
They're thinking we'll have the fake man of war go in,
this is a
kidnap
sitcom
him,
all of a sudden.
essentially.
Yeah.
But it's
Okay.
supposed to be serious.
All right.
So the fake man of war attempts to kidnap the French general, and the French general tells him it takes more than one to capture me,
Just have this dude dress up like man of war, like everybody knows who the hell he
and
is.
he punches him right in the face. And so the fake man of war is having like a battle back and forth with the general, and eventually the general falls off and he's hanging on a cliff. And he goes, "Now, General, I'll show you what it means to disobey an Axis order." And he goes to shoot, and it says the general, and from out of the explosion, there
No,
comes
here
man
comes
of war.
the new one, the
So
real one.
So the real man of war and the fake man of war get into a fight,
Uh-oh.
and
then how do you know which one's which?
you don't.
Who do you shoot?
That's the see. So then,
It's the
essentially,
classic conundrum.
he goes and he is able to rescue the French general.
Oh, okay.
Lassan is his name, or Lassan. Lassan.
Sure.
And he's able to rescue him off the cliff.
There's a bunch of French people just pissed off at us now.
Probably.
How dare you?
Well, hey, I
Sorry.
made sure
How
not to.
dare you.
I made sure not to say "sacre bleu." So
Sacre
I didn't,
bleu.
offend you somehow.
Blue cheese.
I like blue cheese.
I do too. I like stinky cheese.
Any stinky cheese?
Pretty much. Yeah.
I like the stinky cheese stories. Those fairy tales. You don't remember the stinky cheese man?
No, I don't.
I'll show you that afterwards.
Oh boy, that sounded like a threat.
No, it's a kid's book. It's a kid's book.
I'll show you afterwards. I'll show you my stinky
When
cheese.
we get home, we will deal with this correctly.
Damn it.
So, Man of War and the General.
I'll never get my Game Boy back.
Nope. My mom still has it.
This show.
It's off the rails. But the Italians show up and tell basically Man of War, like, hey, we're going to shoot and kill the general unless you come with us peacefully. And Man of War realizes that unless he obeys the Italians, Lisanne will be killed. And so Man of War obeys. So Man of War and the general are taken like captive by the Italians.
Sure.
And the Italians are going to send, they make the general, they're going to have him sign over documents to make Man of War the leader of the Free French Army.
Okay.
The general refuses to, so they obviously just forge a signature.
Sure.
And they send the
It
fake
just says general.
where he sees control of his army to Man of War.
Okay.
So fake Man of War shows up with the French army and he's like, hey, let's go ahead and march into this canyon here. And they're like, well, we can't do that because it's like bottleneck. He's like, we're just asking to be trapped down there.
Sure.
But what they're trying to do is they have the Italian guns set up above the canyon, trap them all down there in the bottom. And
Oh, yeah. It's a classic shooting fish in a barrel situation.
they don't want, like, the men don't want to go, and the fake Man of War is like, but it's an order. We go back to General Lisanne and Man of War in their prison cell.
Okay.
And like the general saw him, hey, use your sword. And he's like, no, it would bring the guards. We have to find another way. And the general's like, I can't wait. And he grabs the sword.
It's like, use your sword. Oh, no, it would bring the guards.
Like to get us out of here.
You just like kill everybody.
Yeah.
Use your sword.
Exactly. And he's like, I can't wait any longer. Give me your sword. And the general grabs the sword and basically just chops through the wall himself. He's like, if you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And sure enough,
the
guards do show up, but Man of War takes out two of them. The general takes out another, and essentially they're able to fight their way to freedom.
I like the general better than Man of War.
Oh, I do too. The general's a badass.
Mm-hmm.
He's a French.
That's what I'm saying. He just picked up that sword and he took care of business.
So enough of that, Man of War, or I shall shoot your dear general. So after they've escaped, the Italian general shows him and he's pulled a gun on him.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then he flicks open his his like lighter to light a cigarette. And when he does it, the spark counts as an explosion. Yeah. And he says, goodbye, my friend, as he disappears. Pew. And it catches the Italian guy off guard. And the French general gives him a good old gut punch because of it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And he grabs the French general hops on the motorcycle to ride away from where the Italians are keeping him.
Okay.
And the Italian general decides to shoot a cannon round at him.
That's another explosion.
Right?
Watch out.
And sure enough, he appears from this explosion again, Man of War. But this time he has to go chase down the artillery shell.
Sure.
But that's not mentioned. Like the bullets are never shown in any of the other ones.
Well, that's true. Huh.
So,
well, this one's different.
He chases it down. He chases it down and he throws it back at the Italian general.
That is a hell of an ability, though, to be able to chase that down and then throw it back at somebody.
Here's the thing, though. So he throws it back, and it says, boom, there's an explosion.
Right.
But he's there.
Oh. Okay. I don't know.
Like, they play fast and loose with it.
Yeah, I like this one where he pops out and there's flames. And
that does look really cool.
Yeah.
So they then now go.
but his poor legs.
His poor legs.
That's where you got to wear pants.
That's true. Meanwhile, the fake Man of War is telling him, the French army is like, hey, if we're attacked, we're lost. And he's like, I know what I'm doing. Just go in there and, and just wait for my signal.
So they went into the canyon.
So what he does is Man of War.
Is that correct?
Yeah, they went to the canyon.
Right, cool.
Fake Man of War basically like shines a flashlight. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
And they can see this giant flashlight.
Sure. It's very dusty.
It is. So all the Italian soldiers start firing at the French soldiers down in the bottom of this canyon. But no need to fear. Underdog is here. This case, it's Man of War, and he drops the French general in the canyon for him to go get control of his men, like to calm them down.
Sure.
While Man of War takes out all of the Italian forces.
With a flashlight.
Yep. And then he goes to take out the munitions, and there's another explosion.
Boom.
He's still there. And he goes, well, look who's down here. I want to see him. And he goes and he fights the fake Man of War. And he defeats him rather easily.
Sure.
And he goes, here's your New Year's here's a New Year's present for you, General. And it throws the fake man of war in front of him. And the general says, free France. Thanks you, man of war.
Free France.
And then Mars says, be careful, man of war. I am the mighty Mars. Or I, the mighty Mars, am losing my patience. Be careful. He says be careful twice.
Be careful.
It's kind of redundant.
Be careful, man of war.
He doesn't have to be careful because that's
it's over.
That's it.
What the hell?
And that's Man of War.
Okay. Well, this is great.
Yeah. Did you not enjoy it?
Well, I feel like we were left hanging there.
Well, yeah, I feel like Uncle Joe did us a disservice by not continuing it. Or I wonder if those junior editors sent in and were like, hey, Uncle Joe, we don't like Man of War.
Uncle Joe, could you write stuff about horses?
Oh, man.
You know, kids love horses.
Oh, yeah. Well, do they? Do all kids love horses?
Kids love horses, yeah. That's just a blanket statement. Kids love horses.
Oh, okay. Sure. I don't necessarily like them, though.
You don't like horses?
I don't have any beef with them, but...
That would be weird if you had beef with a horse.
That's true.
That freaking horse.
I do have horse meat with a horse, though.
The 10 boys or girls who send in the most helpful, interesting, and original letters to me before November 4th, 1941 will be appointed junior editors of Man of War Comics, and each junior editor will receive a brand new $1 bill for his or her letter. Duplicate prizes in case of ties.
Hold on, let me look up $1 in
1941.
Yeah. We'll just see how much these junior editors made real quick.
Yeah.
$1 USD in 19.
Well, you might want to type out $D is a little troublesome.
Well, no, I think here it is. $1 in 1941 is equivalent in purchasing power to about $20.15
wow,
today.
That's a good deal for kids.
So yeah, you send in a letter, they'll send you $20 back.
Huh.
That's not bad. Dude, think of how much candy they were able to get there.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of candy back in 1941.
They were like nickel and dime candy and stuff still. So
I bet it was penny candy.
Oh, you think 41 still?
Yeah, I think it's still penny candy.
That's probably just penny and nickel.
Enemy to attack Los Angeles. Luco's huge army speeds north in surprise move. Surprise! It's in the paper.
Yeah.
Surprise move.
Nope, it's in the paper.
All available, unite, mobilized. President issues orders.
It's probably a bunch of saltwater taffy.
Yeah, I would think saltwater taffy would be a penny.
Yeah.
Saltwater taffy, I'm not a big fan.
I'm not a fan of either.
Yeah.
I like some of the flavored taffy.
Sure.
But I have to be in the mood.
I just don't like taffy. It's just a lot of chewing.
It is a lot of chewing. It kind of hurts your mouth after
It does, and it'll pull your teeth right out.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of kids had their teeth go away.
Kids, don't chew taffy.
Did you ever lose a tooth to anything? Like, have you ever had a tooth crack on you or anything? Well, okay, you don't have to show me.
I was showing you, yeah. God, I realized that after I was like, I shouldn't do that. I'm kind of being gross. Yeah, no, I have one. I don't know why I couldn't just say yeah. I felt the need to show you instead. Yeah. What had happened.
It makes for a great audio podcast.
It does.
Sure.
I have a missing tooth on my side, and I was just showing Mike where it was.
Yeah.
It's real. You can't really see it because it's pretty far in the back.
Did you lose it to a food?
Like that? No.
That's what I was asking you.
No. Like when you bit into something, it kind of. Yeah. I think maybe when I was little, maybe like an apple seems familiar, like just something.
I had one crack on a corn nut.
Ooh,
time.
The whole thing cracked?
My tooth cracked in half. And I remember I was driving to Louisiana. It's a classic story of a boy in his car, driving to Louisiana, cracking his teeth on corn nuts.
Yeah.
And I just remember the tooth cracked. I took the piece out and I looked at it. I just threw it out the window and I kept driving.
Yeah. Oh, it happens.
And that tooth grew into a mighty oak. I don't know what
Do you just have half a tooth in there then, or a part of it missing?
Oh, man, you don't even want to get started on my teeth.
All right.
They stop here, and they stop here. I'm missing a bunch over here. I got half of one here.
I got
too. Crowns.
Dude, I didn't know this was
the worst damn teeth.
My wisdom teeth at 34 still haven't come in.
Really?
They're underneath the skin still.
Are they like sideways?
Completely sideways.
Yeah.
So it's pushing all my. I'm gonna have to go in and have surgery to get them taken out.
Wow.
And my 12-year molars too. Like people have their 12-year molars that come in for their wisdom teeth.
What's a 12-year molar?
So like it's one of your first you have a back molar before your wisdom teeth that kind of grows. I guess they call it your 12-year molar. But mine have barely just broken the skin. Like they haven't even come through all the way. So they're gonna have to take out like my 12-year molars, my wisdom teeth. Like it's gonna be bad.
I went to a private Christian school growing up, and I was taught that your 12-year molars were a sin.
Also being left-handed, right?
Sure. Yeah. Oh, whew. Boy, oh boy, you just throw those guys
You know,
right off the cliff.
I did find out here, since we talked about sports, I'll end it with a sport clip. I found out that Kyrie Irving taught himself how to dribble right-handed for the same thing, because they were taught in school that left-handed was, you know, the whole mark of
Really?
the devil and stuff. So he is net left-handed, but he taught himself how to use his right.
Wow. Because it was mark of the devil.
Yeah.
Huh.
Or like, at least that's why he taught himself at that point in time during school.
Yeah.
I don't know now. Like, Kyrie Irving can believe his own.
Are you right or left?
I'm right.
Oh, okay. All right.
Are you left?
Thank God. Huh?
Oh.
No, I'm right. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do much with my left hand.
No,
Yeah.
I can't either. Sometimes I feel like I have more power with it, but then I don't know why.
More power with it.
Like I have a regular arm and like a
Yeah.
strong arm.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's the left one for some reason.
You don't watch Rick and Morty, do you?
I don't, well, I don't know what you're referring to. No.
Oh, okay. There's an episode
I
where
understand Rick and Morty.
yeah,
I'm just
there's
not caught up.
there's an episode where they're stuck in like this dystopian like Mad Max type planet.
Yeah.
And Rick injects Morty with something that's supposed to give him the ability to fight. And what it does instead, it just makes his one arm grow really big and muscly.
I've seen that one.
Yeah, and he just like beats people with it, but he calls it armathy. So I have armathy in my right hand.
Well, I really enjoyed Captain Underpants here. I thought that was great.
And his flaming sword. Then learning about the ferret and this group of the flying nuns.
So, did you do any research on the ferret?
I haven't. I left it all to be. It's just I do know that's the only appearance he has. I don't think they even go into explaining his origin in it.
Oh wow!
So he just appears and he's gone.
I just don't know what the powers would be.
You know what I really want to do at some point in time is I just want to go through some of these and get a collection for you of just like and just cover the origin stories, because I think some of those are the like there's some that I've come across, like one's the Whistler, where he uses whistling to scare criminals.
Oh, neat.
There's one that's
Oh my God!
There was a guy named the Red Bee who had like a bee.
The Red Bee?
The Red Bee, who had like a little secret like thing in his belt that would open and a bee would fly out of.
No.
There's one where
bees die when they sting you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean there's just a lot of.
He's constantly having to replace that bee.
There's one that we will for sure have on the show.
Yeah.
I have it printed called the Whizzer, because he moves really fast.
Whizzer.
He moves really fast. You want to know how he got that power?
No.
Blood transfusion with mongoose blood.
Are you for real?
His dad gave him a blood transfusion with mongoose blood. Yeah.
That would just kill him.
Oh, no, it made him super fast. The Whiz.
Mongoose.
Or the Whizzer or whatever.
I just think he's peeing
He's peeing everywhere.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
But
did you ever watch Ren and Stimpy?
Yeah,
Don't whiz on the electric fence.
that I've told you about that with my grandma. That's the only thing that she could
that's
remember
right.
from it.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, that she was like, I'm not letting you watch something where they're whizzing on electric fences.
So I installed some hard drives here today because we need more storage.
Yeah.
And I tend to reuse things, right? And so I put this hard drive in, and I have the entire Ren and Stimpy collection on this hard drive. I don't know why, but it's all there.
Did you ever watch it all?
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah, I thought it was great.
Isn't the not against the show?
Mighty Mouse also.
I do like,
but the version done by John Krafowski.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the
That's
one
cool.
that got in trouble where they thought that the whoever the girl is, I don't remember what her name, Polly or something.
Yeah.
She's sniffing a flower, but she sniffs it a little too long, and so they accused him of teaching kids how to do cocaine. That's why the show went off.
What?
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Oh, people are stupid.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
That was great, man.
Thank you.
And we skipped a week, and so this was action-packed
Yeah.
double episode.
Yeah, action-packed double episode, and we'll have some more action-packed for you coming up next week. Don't know what yet, but just believe it'll be just as ridiculous as this.
Poor Zach. He tried to start early today.
I didn't tell you why I tried to start so early.
Yeah, I was
today.
wondering why you got off work so early.
So I had a doctor's appointment.
Okay.
And so I go to my doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
And I get out of the car and I pull up. For some reason, I'm like, let me make sure that I have the right time for my appointment.
Yeah, sure.
And I pull it up and I look at it and I have the right time, but I have the wrong day. It was yesterday. So I missed my doctor's appointment.
So you didn't get to see the doctor at all?
No. So I went in there. I just set up a
sorry.
new appointment. And then I was like, I guess I'll call Mike
Hey,
now. I have
I'm-
nothing else to
I'm
do.
here to set up an appointment.
Yeah. And so I set one up. Yeah.
You know, I'm having a stimulator put in me.
Oh, you told me about that.
Did I tell you about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In your back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My butt. Yeah, hit my back. Yeah.
It's gonna make me just twerk everywhere. Oh,
That guy has the
When are you-
most fun driving home.
when are you getting that though?
I don't know.
Oh, well, I hope it
Whatever.
goes well. Whenever it does.
Whatever. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's been this
right,
week's
guys.
episode of Bros, Foes, and
A
Heroes.
lot of fun.
As always, we appreciate you listening.
Where can they find us?
Find us on Instagram, BroFoHero. Email us at brosfoes, and heroes at gmail.com.
Yeah.
And find us anywhere you listen to podcasts. Also, if you have the time, go ahead and make sure check out all the other great shows on Rogue Media Network.
RogueMediaNetwork.com.
As always, we appreciate you guys taking the time out to listen. And until next time, stay safe, everybody.
Got a gun!
Bros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.